Matt, we got to talk about a travesty.
Okay, is it the travesty of churches not switching online giving providers?
Yes, it is that travesty.
Okay, well the travesty is that these providers that they're sticking with have really high transaction fees, really high monthly fees, and they're missing crucial features.
Yes, they are. And so what inevitably, that's a hard word to say sometimes, but what inevitably starts happening is churches stay with these online giving providers because they're scared.
Yep, they're afraid.
And you know what they're afraid of, Matt?
They're afraid that if they make the switch, their donors won't make the switch with them. And if their people don't make that switch, giving dries up. And then what happens, Wes?
Well, if you don't have giving, then the church closes its doors.
Oh no! All right, well, today we are talking about switching to another online giving provider, and it's not as hard as you think. We'll cover how you can successfully get your people to switch to a new giving platform.
Now, I'm a simple man, Matt, so let's simplify this into 4 ways that we can get our people to switch. And the first one, it's kind of obvious, but I feel like it needs to be said, and that's telling your leaders.
Yeah, I actually wrote a whole blog post about this. It was probably a few months back. The number one thing that you should do to get your donors on board with a new platform is to talk to your leaders and leverage their relationship with your people. And this is more than just like, yeah, you got to talk to your leadership about the decisions that are being made so that everyone's on board with it.
Yeah.
But leveraging your leaders allows you to utilize their relationship with your people to get those people to adopt this new platform. What I've seen churches do that do this very well is they've got like their small group or their Sunday school group leaders to talk to their groups about it weeks ahead of time.
Because that's typically the main touch point that a lot of churches have is the small group setting and people sharing information.
Because it's one thing to have someone stand on a stage with a microphone behind a pulpit and just tell people what to do. It's another thing for someone they have a relationship with and are very close to and that they trust, assure them that, yes, this is what we all need to do together with the church.
Yeah. And also taking that information, more than just telling the people, hey, we're switching online giving providers or whatever, but actually telling them why we're switching.
And that's number 2, is to like really communicate well with your people. For instance, don't just tell them what you're doing, that you're making a change, but why. That people need to be trusted with that information and feel like, you know, they're on board with it and that they're being brought into this decision as well.
Yeah.
So share why you're making the change, which chances are it's probably because you found a platform that has lower fees or something like that, or has certain other features and options that you know are going to benefit your people. But tell them, let them know that, rather than just say, hey, we're making a change, let's go.
And so going to point number 2, communicating with your people from the pulpit or telling your people in a way that is typically on like a Sunday morning, telling your people. And that is such a great opportunity to talk about those things you're saying, where we not only tell our people what we're doing, but why we're doing it.
Exactly.
And doing that not just on a one Sunday kind of occurrence, but maybe doing this for a month, where during that time of offering, we just remind people, hey, for those of you who are donating online, just so you know, we are switching online giving providers. On our website, you can learn more about how to do that.
Right.
Maybe even have a QR code. I don't know.
Yeah, make it really easy for them to find the information that they're looking for. Now, number 3 is message the masses. That's what we titled this. But what we mean by that is leverage all of the avenues of communication you have at your disposal, whether that be emails, texting, social media, videos, sermon slides, pulpit, the bulletin, everything. And the reason why is because anyone that's been in communication, church communications, for more than 5 minutes.
Oh, can I say it?
Yes.
They say the words, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and you put it everywhere. You painted the town with the message that you've been trying to convey to them, and they still say they have never heard of this and they don't know what you're talking about.
Which is why it's so important to tell them in multiple ways, multiple times.
Yeah, especially over like multiple weeks. So utilize every avenue of communication we have. That's why we built messaging into ChurchTrac. You can go to ChurchTrac.com, create an account, start your free trial, and right away begin messaging all of your members, whether by text or by email. That can all be managed right from your ChurchTrac account.
And that's probably one of my favorite features of our software. I know we're on a tangent, but being able to send a mass text. And in fact, some of the churches that I've seen that have been able to get their people to switch the fastest with online giving providers is by leveraging email and text.
Especially text.
Yes, because you attach that link,
yes,
they click it, and within a couple days, you can have half of your donors make that transition over.
Yes, especially if you're messaging multiple times and you're doing it all in conjunction with the in-person messaging. So like say that from the pulpit, and then after service, send that text so that it's first top of mind for all of your donors.
Yeah. Now this last way you can get people to switch to another online giving platform, I want you to share your story because I think your church did such a great job of being able to help their people, help them make that switch.
Yes. The fourth way to get people to switch online giving providers is to offer to help them. My church is actually, we've done it well and we've done it wrong, both ways. First of all, when we did it wrong, what happened is we removed an online giving option.
Just altogether, you just kind of pulled it away.
Yeah, we just pulled the rug out from the people that were using that platform because we found that there were some risks and there was reasons why we did it. But what that meant was that the people that were donating to the church from that platform suddenly had no way to do that. We just yanked that away from them, and we had to reach out to them directly and get them onto a new platform. That took a lot of time. When we did it well, though, is when we made a switch to a new platform. And what we did was first of all, we communicated well ahead of time from the stage.
Did all the things we talked about.
Did all the things that we talked about. But what I did is when I would go to the front to talk about the new platform, I would tell them, if you need help, if you want some assistance setting this up, don't worry, I'll be out front in the welcome area. Yeah. Come bring your phone to me. I would even take their phone, go to the online giving platform and create an account for them, then hand the phone back to them. They would type in their payment information, hand the phone back to me, and I would finish the setup process, and then I'd hand the phone back to them. So by taking the time to help them, I got probably an extra 20% of our online donors onto the new platform that maybe wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, and what's so cool about this is scalable. So you're at a smaller church, and so it's easier to have just that one person to go to help them. But if you're a larger ministry, you can still have your people trained, kind of like we talked about, in getting your leadership on board.
The first one.
And training your leadership at your welcome center or key areas at your church, and then they can help people with that. I talked to a pastor a while back who shared with me how he trained his team on the welcome team to be able to help people with their online giving transition. And what was so cool is just hearing him tell me how they were able to walk people through just like you did, and get their people switched over. And a lot of their people just said, hey, can you just set up the recurring donations for me? And that way, because that's what they were already doing. And so they were able to make that transition pretty smoothly.
Nice. So perfect. So that's how you get your people to switch online giving providers when your church is ready to switch to a new online giving provider. But we also have some extra tips.
Yeah.
So first of all, tip number 1 is take your time. You don't have to make the switch right away. It's not like the Indiana Jones where he has to swap that bag of sand for that little gold thing. You don't have to make that swap right away. You can actually have multiple giving platforms for a few months if necessary before you phase that older one out completely. So don't be afraid to just allow people to take, obviously you don't want to just sit paying those higher fees for forever, but create a deadline 3 months out. And say, all right, this is the date that we're stopping this platform, but we're going to open up this new platform 3 months ahead of time, and we're just going to work on getting everybody switched over in that time.
Yeah. Now, another good tip, pick the right platform. We did a video a while back where we actually talked about the best church giving platform. Highly encourage you check that one out. It's in the video notes as well. But starting from the beginning with the right platform for your ministry. Not all platforms are created equal.
Correct.
There are some that may seem enticing, especially some of these peer-to-peer apps for payments, but they're really not the best for churches. So definitely do your research. Check out that video where we walk through that. We even do some math where we show the differences in fees and stuff.
It's not boring, I promise.
It's not. We try not to make things boring like that because I would fall asleep. So yeah, that's a good one. Another good tip for churches, Matt,
is encourage giving through ACH. If you're in North America, your donors can give directly from their bank account to your church's bank account. That's called ACH giving. And that's opposed to like credit card and debit card donations.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because most giving platforms, if they allow ACH, if that's an option, have a lower transaction fee for ACH donations than they do the debit and credit card donations.
Much lower.
In fact, our platform that we integrate with charges just a flat rate of 25 cents. It's the lowest I've ever seen.
I don't think there's anyone lower. So if you're looking for another platform, check out ChurchTrac Online Giving.
Now that's how you switch to another online giving platform. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one, and we'll see you next time.